Hi guys. This is going to be late because I'm waiting for a new setup in a new computer. And I ask your patience because I have a cold and I might be coughing. This is the layout for this week. The base is just one sheet, 5.5 by 4.25. The card itself is 8.25 by 5.25, scored at 2 3/4 and 6 3/4. So it opens like this, and the inside pulls out. The panels, the DSP panels, you have two at 2.5 by 5 for the inside and the out if you use it. And then this one is 1.25 by 5. The moving panel, the base one is 3 3/4 by 4.25. And you're going to put the short end up and score along the long side, at 3/8 of an inch. And if you use a mat on this, it's 3 1/8 by 4. So this is the sample I showed you, and we'll do one together. So maybe you'll see it even more, even clearer. Here's the base for that I'm doing this one. It's a kind of a Christmas one. This is 5.5 by 4.25. We'll set that aside right now. Then the card I told you about is 8.25 by 5.25, scored at 2 3/4 and 6 3/4. And then I chose to use white instead of DSP, and I embossed it with snowflakes. And there's two at 2.5 by 5, and we'll add those. There's lots of different ideas you can do with this by changing out your mats or not using mats, but you'll see samples of it. So that goes on the front. This goes on the first flap on the left on the inside. And again, I used just white but embossed all of it with snowflakes. And then the thin one is going to go on the far right on the outside. And it's 1.25 by 5. There, so that you have it like this. And then you're going to take the piece that you'll have at 3 3/4 by 4.25 that you have put the shot at the top and scored at 3/8 along the long side. And then I put tear and tape. You could use anything you want, but tear and tape fits in there really good. Along that 3/8 of a strip. And then I'm going to open up the card, and I'm going to place this up against the score line and kind of get it even in between the top and the bottom. Whoops. And press down. That will be the flap that moves in and out. And then this one, I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring anything to stamp it with, but normally I would stamp this first with a greeting, sentiment, and any kind of image you want. But I'll put it on right now and hope I can do it later. And then you center that. Okay. And then, again, I'm putting tear and tape. But you just want to put it on whatever you adhere with. Put it just on the outside edge on both sides because you want this to open up. Be open, I mean, to hold in your sliding mechanism. So we're going to take that off, press it down on each side, and see how the inside pulls out from that flap. And then we'll put this on the base, which, remember, the base is like our usual 5.5 by 4.25. And that just gives it a little more color. In this case, I said Christmas colors. Sorry, I'm just going to turn that up there. I didn't think you could see the whole thing. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to add an image. And in this one, I'm not going to take the time to do it, but I will put 3D dots underneath this part of him, leave this unglued so that the card opens. And here are some examples. And here's the first one I did. And I went on AI, Google Gemini, and asked AI for this picture so it would go with my paper. And then that opens up and you see that it has the greeting right there. This one I didn't use DSP like the first one. I embossed it with honeycomb. This is also an AI. I went in and said, create a picture of a bear holding a honey pot with no background, and that's what they gave me. I thought it was really cute. And then this opens up and I put a little bee on that, and I put some gems. This one is an Easter one when I thought it was going to be made sooner. And I used some DSP on this one and colored in some of the images I put on the slider. And I decided to try it going a different direction. So, and then I thought a wallet and make it into a gift card holder or a money holder or whatever you want to put in it. And when I was looking through my brown papers, I found this paper that looks, I don't know if you can tell online, but it looks leathery already. So I even put one on the back just to carry that wallet kind of idea over. And then I had a button die, so I just did 3 or 4 of them together to make it stand out. I didn't get it quite in the middle, but you could do that by measuring. And then you would have a gift card inside. And what I did was just put 3 glue dots on the back so that it can come off without ruining your card. And then I did this one, which doesn't have any DSP or extra papers. It's just the base, not base card, but the card. And I had this image left over from, I don't know, some other place. And then I had raindrop gems. And then I did this on the inside. So I hope you liked watching this, and I hope you give it a try and have fun with it. Thank you for watching. Bye.